I was reading back into his history, into Lloyd Austin's history, and you know that he's not considered like this great talent. Like he was formerly at CENTCOM. There was a lot of criticism as to how he ran his job when he was how he did his job at CENTCOM, all this stuff. So I'm just, he's been out for, a little bit now. They had no idea. Biden had no idea. Although I feel like they're trying to retcon that. They released a statement where they came out and said, well, actually, we knew. We were talking about it. Was he, though? He was in St. Croix. He was on vacation. And we were told that whenever he goes on vacation, that he's essentially working the whole time, right? That he's working the whole time. And so we really didn't, it's not a big deal if he takes so many vacations. But apparently, I guess no one told him, because other people are saying that nobody knew that he was hospitalized for days. Like, dude was taken back to ICU for post-operative pain. I mean, and in fact, here's the thing that blows my mind even more. So his deputy, and this is CNN that reported this, that bastion of super conservatism, CNN. Yeah. No, because the left is always like, we don't like your sources. And the right, Prague, we don't like your sources. The deputy defense secretary wasn't even told that he had been hospitalized. She was Kathleen Hicks. She's number 2 at Pentagon. She was pretty much kept in the dark by all of this and wasn't told that he was hospitalized. And he's what, 8th? I can't remember how far away he is from the office of the executive. But dude's in line, right? I mean, the dude's in line. She didn't even know that he was hospitalized, that he had a medical procedure when he was on leave. And they didn't actually say what it was. They said it was an elective medical procedure or something to that effect. But then he had post-operative pain. He went back. He began experiencing severe pain on the evening of January 1st, and they took him via ambulance. So it was serious enough for him to be transported via ambulance to Walter Reed, right? And they said that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff was notified on January 2nd that he'd been hospitalized the day before. So apparently, chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, General C.Q. Brown, wasn't even notified until the day after all of this that Austin had been hospitalized. And then apparently all the people in the chain of command, the military service secretaries, etc., they weren't even notified till 4 days after he was checked back into the hospital. That's kind of crazy. Not even the number 2 even knew. Not even she knew that he had been hospitalized. She was just assuming his duties. She had no idea. She was kept in the dark until 3 days after he checked back into the hospital for post-operative complications. And the president, according to CNN, he was unaware that Lloyd Austin was even hospitalized until 3 days into his hospitalization. So I've got a lot of questions about this. And I think it's interesting that the left is reporting on this the way they are. Apparently, I don't think they like him from the beginning, but there's a reason why this is a top story, for actually several reasons why this is a top story. Because we've got back and forth with the Iranian proxies, the Houthis in the Red Sea. We've got troops actually abroad. We've got everything happening with Israel versus Hamas, the Chinese saber rattling, North and South Korea. I mean, we can go on and on. The deluge at the border and the national security threat that presents. And our Secretary of Defense legit disappeared for a week plus. He was gone, hospitalized. Nobody had any idea. Which brings me back full circle to my original question. Do we need one? Do we need this guy? If we didn't even know? I mean, apparently we can still operate while Joe Biden takes, how many days of vacation has he taken? It's been over half of his presidency that he's been on vacation. I'm not exaggerating. That's like legit how often he's been on vacation. So I mean, I guess maybe Lloyd Austin got jealous. I don't know. So he takes some time off. Does nobody? Here's the other thing I was kind of throwing back and forth in my head. I don't know how the Biden administration runs things. Because when you look at what's happening in the Red Sea, and we talked a little bit about this last week, you have the canal over there. That's a huge means of shipping. That's a major issue. Oil and gas, et cetera, et cetera. They have briefings every single day. They have national security briefings every single day. Did no one think, well, where's Lloyd Austin so we can ask him a question about this? Did no one stop and go, we got these drone attacks happening, and we just, now we're responding to the Houthi attack by attacking Houthi, an Iranian proxy group. That's an escalation. Should we bring in the Secretary of Defense on this? The actual Secretary of Defense. Should we bring this guy in? Do you see where I'm going with this? It's weird. How does he stay in his job after this? Now, he released a statement. Let me find this statement. Well, his people did. Because basically, I don't need to read the whole thing. It was basically, my bad. I don't even need to sit here and go. NBC was reporting, I read this a couple hours ago. It was basically all, oh, my bad. It says, quote, I'm very glad to be on the mend and look forward to returning the Pentagon soon. I also understand the media concerns about transparency, and I recognize I could have done a better job ensuring the public was appropriately informed. I commit to doing better. But this is important to say. This was my medical procedure, and I take full responsibility for my decisions about disclosure. So basically, he just told you to shut the hell up. That last sentence. He was basically saying this was my procedure, and it's up to my discretion whether or not I tell you or anybody about it. The dude has not been able to perform his duty since New Year's. Now, they said that he resumed his full duties just this past Friday evening, but he was in the hospital Saturday still, wasn't he? So, and by the way, guess where his deputy was when she was told that she had to assume his duties, but she didn't know what was going on. Guess where she was?
At home?
No.
Oh.
No, guess where she was?
Grocery store?
Oh. One last guess.
Laundromat?
No.
Okay.
She was on vacation in Puerto Rico.
Oh.
She wasn't even in D.C. She wasn't even there. She wasn't even anywhere near. So that's how last minute it was. They didn't even tell the girl. She was in Puerto Rico on vacation, living her best life. And they're like, hey, by the way, Kathleen, guess what? You're now the interim temp SecDef. Have fun. She's in Puerto Rico. Just saying. She had no idea. Pentagon officials haven't described his condition or anything else. Again, while he was in the hospital, we went at this dude. Remember, we had the strike. This is, pull this up. This is NBC. U.S. airstrike kills the leader of Iranian-backed militia in Baghdad. That took place while he was in the hospital, totally not even assuming his duties. Okay? We had bases with Americans on them attacked 6 times by Iranian-backed militias. We've been considering how to strike the Houthis because they keep going at ships in the Red Sea. We got 2 carrier strike groups in the Mediterranean right now because of everything going on in Gaza. And then speaking of, the Houthis, they're based in Yemen. They've been attacking all those container ships coming out of the Red Sea. We had the destroyer that shot down 2 Houthi missiles. That was on December 30th. This was all while this dude has been in the hospital, not able to do his job. And you had number 2 out in Puerto Rico. So again, I go back to, do we need a SecDef? Because apparently we don't.